Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across this great wide world of ours. I had somebody that's on my Native American reservation page, and the first thing they said, "Why are you pushing?" And they're supporting me. Don't get me wrong, they're supporting me, but they're asking me. The question was, or the question is, why are you doing this currently right now about saying defunding the BIA? And the answer to that is this is an election year. You have the Republican nomination coming in the next couple of weeks. 3 or 4 weeks from now, you have the Democratic nomination. And I think this is an opportunity that is waiting to happen because we're looking at a budget, American budget, where we're trillions upon trillions of dollars in debt. And we're coming to the point that we don't want to take money away from Social Security. So the best option, one of the best options, is start looking at government agencies to where you can cut that spending. And part of that issue, because though I'm not an expert in the other industries like the Department of Agriculture or the Department of Education, the emphasis on this is I feel very comfortable and very knowledgeable about the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which from this point on, I'm going to call the BIA. And I really believe in my whole heart and believe in the research that I've done that the BIA created in the 1820s is obsolete, is out of date, even though its headquarters in Washington, D.C., really needs to be more in central locations. You have 12 divisions of the regional divisions. You really don't need 12 regional divisions. You can probably break that down into at least 4, possibly 5, but I think 4 would be an ideal situation. And what you're really got occurring here is just a top-heavy organization with a lot of bureaucracy. If you call out to one of the regional offices, the first thing they'll say, well, you need to talk to the local chief office. Well, if I want to do that, why do you have a regional office if I need to call the regional office? Here again is a big issue to where we can take that money that we save, send it to the individual tribes, and then increase their social and their economic welfare. I don't think the solution, and though I'm not a big component of the casino route, I really honestly don't think as the boomers die and Gen X die out, the other generations are that much interested in doing gambling, and consequently have online gambling. So the issue becomes, do we look at moving things forward without the gambling and really taking that money over to the tribes? And consequently, not all the tribes in the United States have the luxury of having casinos. And I really believe that we should make everything an even playing field for all the reservations, and not necessarily say one tribe can have a casino, another tribe can't have a casino, tribe can have a casino. I really honestly think the big issue on this is having this as an even playing field for people so that they can do that. And consequently, that's one big point that I want to make about concerning the defunding of the BIA is the fact that, you can get rid of the casinos and then get rid of the information, get rid of all the top bureaucracy out of it. But the other issue is, 2 issues, the historical drama. And I talked about this previously in one of my videos, just the historical drama of treaties not signed, raids on tribes, which really would kill women and children, a bureaucracy that created the Trail of Tears, and yet we still have the word Bureau of Indian Affairs. And I can think of 2 things like the Trail of Tears and the Dawes Act, which both had an influence on this hopelessness and also on this historical drama that occurred. Because with part of the Dawes Act was removing Native American children off the reservations and putting them in Christianity, white European schools, which it was a disservice to the individual tribes, which could almost lead to the identity of many tribes being lost. And then we can look at the Columbian Exchange, which occurred in 1492 and onward through the 15th and early 16th century, with the introduction of viruses such as the flu and things like that, and other incidences of other issues that would carry smallpox that would decimate a lot of tribes. So, in other words, this was all part of that historical drama, and yet we still use the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which a lot of, like I said, case in point, we don't call the Cleveland Indians, they're called the Cleveland Guardians, and then they're not called the Cleveland Indians anymore. So this is a point that I want to make, that, this is an election year. This would be a good time to defund the Bureau and then to create a new Bureau that would help the reservations on a more local level, rather than just giving that administrative cost. And I really honestly believe that this is part of the solution to the problem, because a lot of individuals on the tribes do not have faith in the federal government. And somehow we've got to create some type of faith and optimism within the federal government. And I think this would be a step forward if we defunded the Bureau of Indian Affairs and move things in a more positive light concerning this. And secondly, it would help with the budget crisis. And, we're spending money on the Ukraine war. We're spending money on NASA, on this Artemis program, which I think is obsolete. We should have a scale down an Apollo program, not this program. And I think we're doing programs within the NASA administration, though this is not my expertise, but what my thinking as a psychologist and IO psychologist is that we're expounding our belief on that. But my expertise is I've done a lot of research concerning Native American tribes. And like I said, the other consequences, when I look at the COVID and this Bureau of Indian Affairs, they still had the highest outbreak of the COVID. They had the most deaths on the COVID. We have highest rates of violence on the tribes, and yet this is all under the Bureau of Indian Affairs jurisdiction, and yet things are not getting better, which they should be getting better, but they're not getting better. It's more like, as I always like the cliche, kicking the can down the road. Or just, we'll solve the problem. It's like the drug problem. Let's just stick more money into the issue to solve the problems, like the war on drugs and everything. And really, the issue is education. Anyway, these are my food for thoughts on this. I wanted to get a brief video out for tonight. Try to get a video out sometime over the weekend, but this is a real key aspect of why I'm doing this and why I'm pushing this, because I have this gut feeling of doing this and pushing this. And then we'll have appropriations in the fall, and this is an ideal situation to look at and to make things better for the Native American and the indigenous people that still live on the reservations. And some of the reservations have poor water quality. They have to get tankers of water to come in. This is the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And, we're in the 21st century, and we're dealing with archaic ideals that go back to the early 1900s, and it's just like, wait a minute, we're not anywhere with this. We're just sticking more money into a bureaucracy that really isn't accomplishing anything. So anyway, these are my food for thoughts on this, folks. Have a great evening. The other issue that I do want to add on this, please like and subscribe to this channel. Please get this message out. I'm really, really pushing this in the next 60, 90 days and up to the major election in November. I'm going to try to get 2 videos out per week just to get the message across to people about defunding the BIA and creating a better life for Native American people all across the United States. Anyway, talk to you folks real soon and have a great day. Bye.